Jessica the Ghost creepypasta narration. Let's get into it. Jessica was doing quite well in school. She actually liked and enjoyed what they were doing. Her parents already taught her some basics of counting, writing, and reading, so she had no struggles. She was an excellent pupil. Always understood everything she needed to, so the teachers didn't pay much attention to her. They focused more on the pupils who were struggling, who needed help, and more explaining. Throughout Jessica's first years, she was doing great. As she was still a kid, she didn't understand the concept of time much. As other kids, she didn't pay attention to how she was slowly changing, how her interests and personalities are changing. She gave up on trying to talk to other kids after just a few months. She paid attention in class, so her mind was always occupied. That was until the breaks came. Other kids would chat together, meanwhile Jessica would sit there silently at her desk, eating, writing, doing her homework from the previous period so she'll have more free time at home. There would be times when she would feel lonely and cry. She became good at hiding her tears. She would cross her arms on the desk, bury her head in them, letting the tears just fall. She only had short periods of crying episodes. She would manage to dry her face before the next lesson would start. She was excited to go home each day. There, she would sit in her room playing video games, drawing, or reading, sometimes making up scenarios in her head about hanging out with someone, and that was when Brandon started crossing her mind again. Whenever her parents would ask about her day at school, she would start to make up lies about having friends so she wouldn't have to talk to them about it and have to listen to them be worried and questioning her daily. Of course, they could always tell when she lied. She was a kid, and kids are not good at lying. After some time, Jessica would notice a lady she recognized as the school's psychologist, keeping an eye on her as Jessica grew older. She was excelling not only in her studies, but also in her ability to lie and pretend. She managed to cry in complete silence, even when in public, avoiding anyone's gaze. Lying to her parents on a daily basis, hiding her real feelings, was something that just became natural to her. She didn't want anyone to notice her emotions, even though she knew nobody would notice her anyway. Her whole school years, she would sit at the first desk by the doors where she was easily noticeable. The teacher paid more attention to the kids in the back rows as they would disturb the lessons the most, or to kids in the middle row by the window. Ever since Jessica's first years, she lied, trying to avoid any school activities like Halloween or Christmas parties. This won't be an actual party. They were organized by the school. Each class would choose a performance for the parents and teachers to perform around the time of the holiday in front of the whole school. Jessica tried lying about the dates or of those events so she can avoid going there, but her parents always noted from the school's event calendar. To say simply, Jessica grew to hate social events more and more. She never made any friends which she could enjoy these events with, and seeing everyone happy and excited always made her sad. But as she got older, the sadness began to turn to anger and hate. How is it fair that everyone is so happy that they can do the things that she can't? How can they be happy when she's always by herself, alone? She would sometimes think about Brandon more often and slowly began to hate him too. Her reasons were self-centered. She began to feel like everyone is ignoring her on purpose, and why did he leave so suddenly without an explanation, without getting in touch? When she was 14 years old and it was her last year in primary school, she decided to go to the Halloween party dressed up as a ghost, using a similar costume she used in kindergarten. That evening, she felt what it feels like to be acknowledged again. Many kids on the streets would talk to her, hang out with her. Many of them were her classmates. They didn't even notice the girl behind the ghost as their classmate. The next weeks in school, she would try to talk to them, hang out with them. The ones from the Halloween event. None of them would even remember her, or just ignore her. Thank you so much for listening to this creepypasta narration. If you liked it, like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I greatly appreciate it. If you disliked it, share it with a friend or group chat to make fun of me and my stupid video. I will make sure to cover the last 4 parts of Jessica the Ghost in the coming days. And I'm going to try, I know I say this every time, but I really am going to start trying to be more consistent with posting creepypasta narrations, because I'm going to start recording them in batches. So I'm going to do like 3 or 4 of them at a time, so that you guys are getting at least one every day. So just stay tuned for that, and I will see you on the next one.